YouTube? So coming back with my next daily top 10. Yesterday I did top 10 best sports video games of all time. If you have not checked that out, you should definitely go check that out. I will put the link in the description below, probably also in the outro. So moving to my list for today, and I have the top 10 teams I think that Johnny Manziel should go to next year. So I'm not going to do any honorable mentions with this video. I'm just going to jump straight into the top 10. And keep in mind, these are just my personal predictions, like my personal views on it. Obviously, Johnny Manziel is going to find his way onto some team next year, but each one presents a different situation for him. So moving to number 10, and I have the New York Jets. So I think this is a long shot. Like I said, there's only so few teams that will take Johnny Manziel, but the New York Jets are a team that are really, to me, is in dire need of a quarterback, and I don't know if they're going to take one in this draft. I think Paxton Lynch has been a pretty popular option for the Jets, and I could see that working out. I really could, but there's a couple things why I think that could work out well for Manziel and the Jets. One, I still think Johnny Manziel is an incredibly talented quarterback. I'm not one to judge someone because they want to party with their life. It's your life, do what you want. And New York can obviously give you the opportunity. I think the problem the Cleveland Browns had was they tried to control it too much. And they are honestly a terribly run franchise anyway. So, the Jets are normally a quarterback killer the last couple of years. Well, I wouldn't say quarterback killer so much as just getting very, very bad quarterbacks. I guess more poor quarterback scouting. Geno Smith, Mark Sanchez, Ryan Fitzpatrick, not putting that on him. He's really a career journeyman is what I'm looking for. And he's kind of just a plug and play wherever he goes. He's like oh, we need a quarterback, and he's on free agents. Let's fill him in for the season while we're rebuilding around him. But like I said, he's not really a long-term option, and I think that Johnny Manziel could fit in okay. So moving on to my number 9 option, I've got the Buffalo Bills. And Buffalo Bills, again, are not in dire need of a quarterback. They have Tyrod Taylor right now, and he could be the long-term option. Not really sure there. But I could definitely see a guy like Johnny Manziel fitting in at least decently there. This would have to be the right situation, or this would have to be the right managing of Johnny Manziel, though. Not much to say about this one. It would be a long shot, but I could see it working out again well for both parties. So, move on to number 8, I've got the Cincinnati Bengals. And the Cincinnati Bengals are a team that is in a pretty good situation right now, quarterback-wise. They have Andy Dalton, but you saw Andy Dalton go down this year. And while I don't know if a guy like Johnny Manziel, would be the answer there, he's got talent around him. It'd be a very similar offensive situation to me as he had at Texas A&M. You got one good receiver in A.J. Green, comparable to Mike Evans, and then you have a duo of pretty good running backs, like he had, I believe, I can't think back that far, might have been Trey Carson. I can't remember, but he would have Jeremy Hill and Gio Bernard, 2 talented running backs to work with there. So number 7, I got the San Francisco 49ers. The San Francisco 49ers, to me, are a team that really need just a new direction to go, and I don't know if, obviously Johnny Manziel might not be that direction, but I think that under the right management for the 49ers, again, you have to be able to manage Johnny Manziel right. You've got to know that the partying's probably not going to stop, but you just got to manage him the right way. Let him do what he wants, but if he gets in the way, then deal with it. So, move on to number 6, and I got the Miami Dolphins. So the Miami Dolphins are pretty set at quarterback as well. I just think that they could use a little bit of a safety net behind Ryan Tannehill. And again, really all these teams, it's just if you can manage Johnny Manziel right. And as it goes further and further up the list, I think that the teams can get better in managing Johnny Manziel. And like I said, it's not even managing, it's just knowing people, like knowing how to deal with certain types of people. And the Miami Dolphins are a team that I think could deal with him in the right way, and he'd be able to get his partying in Miami, and I think he'd be happy there. So move on to number 5, I got the Denver Broncos. So this would be an interesting one to me, because I don't know what direction the Broncos are going to go in after Peyton Manning leaves. Probably Brock Osweiler, but there's been doubts about that for some reason, I don't know why. I think that if you do want to go in a different direction, Johnny Manziel would be a very interesting one, maybe. Not really exactly like, but kind of like the Jake Plummer situation. Not dissimilar people at all. but athletically kind of similar styles of quarterback too, smaller guys. But I think the Broncos could work out okay, just because, again, I think it's a team that would be able to manage him right. He'd be in a situation where he'd kind of be forced to rise to the task and not fall into mediocrity, just football-wise. So move on to number 4, I got the Houston Texans, and I think that this could work out decently well. I don't know if Bill O'Brien and Johnny Manziel are, I mean, they're not, I think they're polar opposite type of people, and I don't know if the Texans could put that together, but it's obviously a region very close to where Johnny Manziel is from. It's a place very close, obviously, to where Johnny Manziel went to college, and I think it's a team that is in dire need of quarterback right now. They were all over the place this year with quarterback, and while they're maybe going to take one in the draft, I think Christian Hackenberg would be the best situation for the Texans. But like I said, Johnny Manziel would be an interesting fit there. So we move on to number 3, and I think this is the most intriguing option to me, and that is the Los Angeles Rams. I think this has been talked about a little bit, but they are really in need of a new direction, and just the excitement that would bring to LA. Like, you're looking to sell tickets, you're moving a team to LA with Johnny Manziel as going in a new direction. That's going to sell tickets for you at least. And again, LA kind of the same situation as New York or Miami. Get partying scene out of the way if you know how to manage him in the right way. Make sure that he doesn't overdo it. I've brought up this example many times. I don't think that. I think he publicizes it less than Johnny Manziel, but I think Gronk parties just as much as Johnny Manziel. Again, if you want to party, like it's your life, it's your money, do what you want. And I think that Johnny Manziel, if he was doing as good as Gronk and had won a Super Bowl, everyone would be looking the different direction. And as soon as a guy like Gronk starts doing poor, the Patriots start doing bad. If that does happen while Gronk's there, then it'll be interesting to see what happens to Gronk. Like, it's just the thing that happens. So move on to my number 2 option. I've got the Jacksonville Jaguars. Again, one that I think could be a very intriguing option. Obviously, they're doing fine right now with Blake Bortles. It looks like they're headed in the right direction as is. But if that doesn't work out, because that's kind of just the way that things go for the Jaguars for the last, really since David Garrard, they haven't been able to find a steady quarterback in a long time. They've tried multiple options. Chad Henne, Blaine Gabbert, Blake Bortles being the newest one. Obviously Johnny Manziel would be a different direction, and Jaguars probably have the smallest fan base in all of football, worst fan base in all of football as well, depending on how you rate bad fan bases. And just the most non-existent fan base, if I could put a term to it. And obviously Johnny Manziel would, again, bring some hype and excitement to the team. So moving on to my number 1 option, and I think that this option just kind of fits like a glove, and that's him to the Cowboys. Jerry Jones talked about taking Johnny Manziel in the first round of the 2014 draft as is, and obviously didn't because they do have a quarterback right now, but obviously Tony Romo has a multitude of issues going on with his health and his age. So, did not play very much this year. Got injured very early in the season, came back and got injured again. And if you want to find an alternate option that's going to bring a whole new face to the franchise, obviously this is the guy to do it. And like I said, I think it's a very good fit for both ends of the deal. I think that both teams could have a very good outcome with this situation. Alright, so just to clear up a few things, if you guys did actually manage to watch all the way through the video, congrats, that's awesome. But also, I wanted to mention a few things about Johnny Manziel before I end the video. Just my personal take on Johnny Manziel, because I think everyone has their own. When they're talking about a person of this magnitude, everyone kind of forms their own opinion about him. Tim Tebow, LeBron James, Steph Curry. I'm trying to think guys of just extreme magnitude in sports. Bryce Harper. Tom Brady. But like I said, Shaq. Sorry, I keep on going with that. But what I'm saying about Johnny Manziel is a guy, anyone that's covered that much and that in-depth and has that much exposure is going to be either scrutinized or loved. I mean, obviously, it's normally goes one of the two ways. And normally, the deciding factor in which way it goes is not how you approach it. To me, again, there's no right and wrong. I'm not trying to get into life philosophy here, but that's kind of what everyone's talking about with Johnny Manziel right now. A lot of people said you should stop doing this, you should stop doing that, and depends on, for me, just what makes you happy. Like, if he's able to be successful in the NFL and he's happy while doing it, I don't see anything wrong with it. But obviously he's not successful in the NFL right now, so he's got to find where he's going to be successful. People really, I think, gotta, if you want to see Johnny Manziel be successful in the NFL, you got to start forcing him to change into a different person. No, you're not going to force someone to change into a different person like that. It's got to be something where you know how to deal with that type of person, and he either rises to the occasion, which is really the first option. Second option is he just fits into the team as a whole, and really it's just a decent situation for him, kind of like it was at Texas A&M. Well, at times. Or, third thing is, like I said, kind of similar to rising to the occasion. The team knows how to deal with him, and I think I pointed this out in the Broncos example, that you've got so much talent around you, you just will want to become better. It's an internal thing, and if it's an internal thing, that's really the only way that it's going to change you. This is saying from me and from everything I've seen, especially through the likes of NFL players. It's very, very hard to change a course of a player's career. It's hard to change the course of any one player's career like Johnny Manziel. I mean, if he finds the right situation, great. I think he's an incredibly talented quarterback. I think he's incredibly fun to watch. I like watching guys that are just incredibly polarizing players. I think everyone does. I did not like watching Tim Tebow. I don't think he was a polarizing athlete like a lot of people said he was. To me, Johnny Manziel is up there with Leonard Fournette. I'm trying to think of other current players right now in college football. Deshaun Watson, and there's very few. Christian McCaffrey. There's very few. Jabril Peppers, but just absolutely polarizing athletes that just make the game incredibly fun to watch. Just people that you want to see just because of their individual ability, not because of the team. And he's one of those guys, and I want to see that success continue into the NFL because, again, incredibly talented player to watch. But yes, that covers my entire Johnny Manziel top 10 video. Like I said at the beginning of the series for the top 10s, I wanted to cover more just hot topics and try to make top 10s out of it, and tried to apply that with Johnny Manziel. So that's pretty much it. Yeah. On YouTube. So coming back today with my next top 10. So yesterday I did the top 10 biggest NFL draft busts of all time, and then the day before that I did, I believe it was the top 10 NFL fan bases. So today I want to do a video that's a little bit outside of the norm that I do for